I'm a very human rights driven person. I can be very boring sometimes, as my family tell me. I don't take enough holidays, I don't relax enough, and yet I do have a good sense of humour, and I think I'm quite grounded. I'm also a very warm Irish grandmother. I have 4 grandchildren, and they are very central to my life at the moment. They will be in their 40s in 2050, when I wonder what kind of world we will have if we don't take the whole climate issue more seriously.
Mary Robinson became acutely aware of the injustice of climate change during the last decade. She was the founding president of Realising Rights for Ethical Globalisation. The rich world, she says, needs to understand that its greenhouse gas emissions are affecting poor countries, including Liberia.
My friend Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she would say to me, Mary, when I was growing up, we predicted when the rain would come. Now it comes later, it stays much longer, I can't mend my roads. The Horn of Africa has had the 8 hottest years ever measured in succession. It's going to affect food security. And now we're seeing drought in the United States. That's going to put up food prices over the next few months.
Robinson is also one of former President Nelson Mandela's 10 elders. They include some of her heroes, such as Desmond Tutu, Graça Machel, Kofi Annan, Jimmy Carter and Ella Butt. Together, they work for peace and human rights worldwide.
I do emphasise at all times that I'm one of the younger elders. That's because I get a lot of teasing about being an elder. But it is a great privilege. And of course, we have a beloved chair, Archbishop Tutu.
The lifelong human rights advocate admits that she finds it difficult to bite her tongue when the elders meet or visit controversial leaders, organisations and countries, such as Robert Mugabe, Omar al-Bashir, Hamas and North Korea.
I will meet people whom I have strong reservations about, but I accept that we have championed the idea that we will, as indeed Nelson Mandela himself said, go places where others don't go, speak to everyone, and to be humble and not believe that we have the answers.
Mary Robinson first met Nelson Mandela in what she calls a wave of emotion in 1994. She was Ireland's first female president, and he was being inaugurated as South Africa's first democratically elected black leader.
That was an absolutely unforgettable experience. I do regard him as probably the most impressive person I've ever met, because of his own track record of serving in such a principled way, enduring 27 years in prison. One of his most attractive traits is this wonderful and slightly self-deprecating humour, but also the humanity of the man, being able to really touch you in a particular way, as he does for millions of people who've never met him.
Halfway through Mary Robinson's one-term presidency of Ireland, from 1990 to 1997, her popularity rating reached an unprecedented 93%. She attributes that to her not being responsible for hard decisions, such as increasing taxation or removing popular programs.
I said I wanted to be a president with a purpose, rejuvenate and revitalise the office, because I saw as a constitutional lawyer that the 6 men who had been president before me had been dominated by a kind of tradition that the president didn't really engage. But as a non-executive president, you could be close to the community, you could link with the diaspora, and also extend a hand of friendship to communities in Northern Ireland.
Her term as United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights from 1997 to 2002 was initially difficult. The office was new, underfunded, and had been dogged by high-level infighting.
If I achieved anything with the Office of High Commissioner, apart from highlighting victims and going to places like Chechnya or East Timor or Sierra Leone or Kosovo, where terrible violations were taking place, it was that I left the office in a much stronger way to carry on the work.
Mary Robinson is also the Chancellor of Trinity College Dublin. She serves on several boards, including the European Climate and Mo Ibrahim Foundations. And she's a member of the Club of Madrid, the Royal Irish Academy and the American Philosophical Society. So how does a woman, wife and mother of 3 children like herself, manage all her high-profile positions and long list of commitments to diverse causes?
Juggle is the word, as any woman knows in that position. I was never good on the domestic front, not a particularly good cook, not particularly tidy in the home, had a lot of support, I must say.
What do you do when you have a free moment?
Very simple things. We have a home in the west of Ireland and we have some land on a lake, and I can go for walks in the woods. I started life as a bookworm and I've really continued to be a great reader. Having long meals over a bottle of wine with friends and talking into the night.
And that's Mary Robinson in a nutshell. I'm Angie Kaplianis in Johannesburg.